now we have Randall Hedderick. He's local, ex-military, 17 years of service. So thank you for your service. And he just wants to put on a show. But Isaac Freeman, his opponent, has trained with the highest of quality in boxing. Among them, Freddie Roach. This could be a turnaround for the local who wants to amuse his own crowd here in Biloxi.
Absolutely. Randall Hedderick is a hometown guy. He says he's not worried about the pressure of fighting in his hometown. He's just happy to be here. He's, of course, is coming off of a 3-year layoff with a reconditioned shoulder. So he's anxious to get in here and show everybody what he can do. And he got into fighting on a bet with some of his friends. They said, we bet you won't go in there and do it. He said, well, watch me. And he went in there and did it. And now here he is fighting in front of his home crowd and a national audience watching.
Absolutely. And in this case, Freeman, under the tutelage of A.J. Easley, who's only trained with him for 2 months, he says this is a completely different fighter who's going to try out that shoulder. We'll see what happens tonight for Randall Hedderick. Goldie, Benny, Paulie, what do you guys say? Specifically, we're talking about an older guy with a messed up shoulder. I think I know somebody like that. Goldie?
Ouch. but, thank you, Claudia. You are the entire package. She said older.
Older, yeah.
She didn't say old.
Right.
She said older. In fact, I'm getting off this quick.
Here's all tell the tape. Randall Hedderick is older.
You,
37 years old. Randall Hedderick to 32 years old. Isaac Freeman. Freeman with a slight reach advantage, though Hedderick with a slight height advantage. And 3 pounds heavier came in. Hedderick at 155 pounds. Freeman was 152 pounds.
You know, when you talk about shoulders, I had a teammate came up to me and says, you know, man, he says, my shoulders are sure. I said, you're what? My shoulders are sure. I mean, you're...
I think he took a hit in the head.
Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth bout on the card is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome to the Trigon, Isaac Freeman.
Isaac Freeman began his professional boxing career in 2015. He just had a boxing match back in February 17th, in fact. Claudia talked about his time with Freddie Roach. He has also been in camp, Paulie, with Sugar Shane Mosley, 93 to 2016. Of course, multiple world titles and 3 different weight classes. And when I was the host of Shaq Versus, Sugar Shane fought Shaq. So that was kind of cool as well.
Yeah. You know, when you're from Los Angeles, you can get, you know, a lot of the best fighters in the world train out there. You've got access to some of the best combat sports gyms. And, you know, I remember as part of my career, I trained in Los Angeles for 2 years at the Wild Card Gym. It does give you that extra boost, gives you that extra vote of confidence, be able to get that kind of sparring and that kind of work with some of the best fighters and boxers in the world when you're in this industry. And that's what Freeman seems to have. He seems to have that confidence.
And, you know, that's the kind of guy Sugar Shane is. I mean, he just took the time. He doesn't represent him, whatever. He just took the time to go ahead and teach him some things. And I think that's great when a great pro like that is willing to go ahead and teach somebody what he knows.
Sugar Shane, and during that time with Shaq versus Oscar De La Hoya, went southpaw, and he went against Shaq as well. Shaq went 0-2, but you know, if they wrestled, I would give the advantage to Shaq. This man right here, born in Monrovia, the capital city of the West African country of Liberia. He says about his opponent, Randall Hedderick, just another opponent. He is out of shape, and it will be exposed. One of his ultimate goals, and I love this, Benny, he wants to build a boxing gym for inner city youth to give them an opportunity to train.
Yeah, and I think that's great. That shows where his heart happens to be and stuff, and also to give back to the sport that he's trying to conquer. But I love his philosophy, and he says, you know, if I can touch you, I can reach you. And that's the way he fights. He's a very technical fighter, very smooth, very calm. So it's going to be interesting what Hedderick does to combat that style right down the pipe.
When we asked him, Paulie, what his skill set consisted of, he said closing, distance, timing, and footwork, all things that you know are essential.
Yeah, well, you know, when it's somebody that comes from a boxing background, you kind of anticipate that. You kind of anticipate them having a sense of proper sense of an understanding of distance, because, you know, there's in MMA you can grab and take guys down, but in boxing it's all stand up. So that understanding of distance and entering and exiting that proper distance is essential if you're going to be successful.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome to the Trigon, Randall Hedderick.
Major shoulder surgery, as Claudia was so kind to mention. The last fight for Randall Hedderick, 3 years, 1 month, 10 days ago, or 1,136 days ago. It was April 6th, 2019. And oh, those buddies that said that we dare you to fight that Bob talked about, they were his military buddies. Never had trained a day in his life, took the fight on 2 days' notice, won, fell in love, and he's still doing it.
And you know, one of the things he's going to do here, he's going to be right on the hip of Freeman.
Yeah.
He says, as soon as that hip turns, I'm going to be on it. So that's going to be his particular design. So he's going to get inside, and he's going to go ahead and move around laterally to try to get inside those hips.
He had another fight here in Biloxi. That fight, the one I just mentioned, back in 2019, finished by Isaac Valleyflag in round number 3. He wants to get a big win at home here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this super welterweight bare knuckle bout is presented by Playmaker. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 152 pounds. He is making his bare knuckle debut, and he fights out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Monrovia, Liberia. Introducing Isaac Puma Freeman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. He holds a bare knuckle record of 0 wins, 1 loss. And he fights right here in Mississippi, in D'Iberville. Introducing Randall Ray Scales Hedderick. Our referee in charge, Bobby Wambacher.
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up if you want.
Randall Hedderick and Isaac Freeman. Super welterweight matchup. Will we get close to a second round? So far, the answer has been no.
Well, at least the difference in the last fight was that Driver got the KO by leading. The first 2 fights were a lot of counter shots. It's that sharp jab by Freeman. Hedderick walks it right in and comes in with a double and triple hook there.
And Mike, what you got here, you got a boxer against a street fighter.
Yeah.
So look, he's going to try to make it as dirty as possible. Hedderick is. Freeman's going to fight behind that jab, and he's going to go ahead and try to create punching angles with that and try to come right down the pipe.
Yeah, and he's giving that look, feinting. Overshot that right hand there, but you could see Freeman with that boxing technique and stance, and even trying to feint off that speed.
What Hedderick's got to do now is try to get inside, get that tight plum.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do there. You got to throw that overhand right. He can't stay on the outside and allow Freeman and get that timing off, because he's going to just kill him with feints and jabs there. He's got to work his way in just like that.
Hedderick, he had 11 professional boxing bouts from 2014 to 2017. 16 professional bouts for Isaac Freeman.
And there's a shot. And you know what Hedderick did right there? See probably the way he dropped his head? Every time he comes in, he drops his head.
I didn't even see the referee was in the way.
Yeah, that was a right hand, right on the butt, and he drops his head. So every time he comes in, drops it, doesn't see the punches coming.
With an uppercut?
Yep.
So you see, and again now,
see how he drops his head?
Freeman rolling with some of the shots, but Hedderick getting them off. You know, even if he's partially landing them, you know, in bare knuckle, even the partially landed shots can open up cuts. So Freeman's got to be careful as Hedderick is coming in throwing.
And Mike, when I looked at the bone structure of Randall Hedderick yesterday, I wondered about the cuts.
Yeah.
That's a very, very fine skin, prone to cutting.
Scar tissue. been cut before, perhaps.
You
or
see Hedderick.
maybe he just did the Nick Diaz, got everything fixed, and then tore the stitches out himself.
You see Hedderick complaining about the rapid shots on the inside, but he's got to not turn his head that way.
And I'm gonna say that again and again. He's dropping that head.
Yeah.
He can't see the punches coming.
And
That's what
the
the
thing,
counter.
he doesn't know how to close the gap any other way. He's fighting the boxer, another big uppercut. And that's a nice combination there by Freeman. Right uppercut and then over the top right hand.
But much to both of your guys' points, he's putting that target right in front of Isaac Freeman.
I'm telling you, he's got to feint his way in. He's trying to rush in, and he doesn't know how to rush in. He doesn't know how to come in without running into shots. What he's got to do is feint on the way in. If he wants to rush, he's got to feint first, because otherwise Freeman's going to time him. With that boxing timing, he's going to get him every time. I understand he wants to rush and take away the space from the comfort zone of the boxer, Freeman, but he's got to feint on his way in, because Freeman's just going to time him the way he's been timing him coming in.
Still complaining about what he considers shots to the back of the head. Bobby Wambacher separated him, and I don't know what exactly he said to Randall, but it sounded like he was saying, Randall, no, they're not.
And the shorter shots there on the exchange, the shorter shots of the boxer.
Yeah, let the referee. You got to fight.
Yeah.
Freeman's got to get sent to his neutral corner.
3 knockdowns for Puma in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and you can see a different technique. The technique was just like night and day there. I mean, Hedderick's technique isn't horrible. He ducks down his head too low, as you said, Benny. But he tries to push that jab in so that he can close the gap. But even once he closed the gap, the couple exchanges they had on the inside, it's Freeman's shorter punching, more disciplined punching. That was getting the better of the exchanges, even on the inside.
And he doesn't see it. When you drop your head, you can't see the punches coming.
And here's a knockdown.
Watch he'll drop his head when he gets hit here. See right there?
That was a big shot over the top, actually, right on the ear side of the head. Seemed like Freeman was complaining about
That's
maybe a
the
clash of
perfect
heads.
example of what Benny's talking about.
Yep, and there's that uppercut and then right hand over the top. And that was it. He also just stopped there. You know, he seemed like he was uncomfortable. See right there, he's stopping. He doesn't know where he's going, and then he's getting dropped. If you're uncomfortable, man, you grab, hold, do something. You can't just get in there and half-heartedly now stop because you're uncomfortable, because all you're going to do is get hit. You got to finish the entrance, either hold or get back on the outside.
He's playing the role of the bull. He's pulling in, but he doesn't realize this matador, his opponent, Puma, he isn't trying to get out of the way. He's trying to punch him in the face.
But I tell you what, being a bull is actually helping Freeman because he's coming to him. That makes it
Exactly.
easier.
Absolutely.
And if you are going to get a cut, it's better to get a cut below the eye than above the eye. And that cut is below the eye.
Freeman again.
Quick body shot there, Paulie.
And there's that turn, too. Nice little pivot turn. Again, another boxing move on the inside.
And I almost saw Freeman try to use a Thai plum.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't know if he has any of that inside dirty boxing, right? That body shot.
That's a solar plexus.
Oof. Nice body shot.
That could be it.
Yeah. Was that a low blow?
No, it was a solar plexus shot.
I don't know.
It might have been low. Bobby Wambacher sent Freeman back to his corner.
We'll see. All right. I couldn't tell because, again, he was facing the other way.
Yeah.
Freeman, not sure which side it is.
You know, and I don't think that was with bad intention. I just think it's a position that Hedderick happened to put himself.
Yeah, it happens, but he's going to get 5 minutes. He'll get his 5 minutes to recover. And if I'm Hedderick, I'd probably take the full 5 minutes here. You know, he kind of needs it. You got 5 minutes, they might as well take it, and you know, see how he can recover that way. And if he wants to rush in and make this a little bit of a rough fight, he's going to at least have the energy to do it once he gets a 5-minute recess here. Let's see if we from the truck get it.
He's going to take the full 5 minutes, which is
smart.
smart.
I don't blame him. Maybe we can get some of the replay from the truck. See how low that was. I couldn't really tell because I had Hedderick's back facing me. Let's see if we see it. See the low blow here. Yeah, that was low. Yeah, that was low.
From the angle, I thought it got to the solar plexus.
Yeah, I thought so too. But you know what it is? He's ducking the wide right hand of Hedderick. He's ducking it, and then after that, he's you know, he's kind of punching on his way back up, and once he ducked a little low, and the punch ended up at the same height, which was low, below the belt.
Remember the Jerry Cooney shot on Larry Holmes? Same type of thing with that left hand underneath.
Bolo.
You know, it's tough when you're so close and guys moving around, you're tight, you throw that uppercut. Yeah. And I don't want to break down like the structure of getting an accidental groin shot, but
when it's coming up, it's worse.
Correct. Thank you, Paulie. Yeah, it's just, there's bad and worse, and I'll use improper English and say worser.
So there's the warning right there. Bobby Wambacher warning Freeman.
And he used all his time, wisely so. Let's see if Hedderick can respond, not with anger, but with some more technique. He does train here locally with Monica Medina, who will fight our champion, Patty Juarez, in tonight's main event of the evening.
You see the nice timing.
There's the uppercut. There's the uppercut.
Step back timing. He's got a really smooth boxing style, does Freeman, again, with the feints up and down.
And you know, in boxing, when you got somebody coming in with that head, dropping that head, that uppercut is there. See? Yep. He's starting to throw it now.
Yeah, and he took another one.
Freeman, all 3 of his professional boxing wins were by knockout.
7, 8.
You can't do it.
It is all over. Hedderick cannot continue. Isaac Freeman, victorious in the 2nd round in his BYB debut.
Sharp boxing.
Yes.
Really sharp boxing. Speed, timing, good eyes as well, reacting to what he saw. You know, when he needed to come from underneath and get a shot from underneath, he did. When he needed to step back and create distance when he was being rushed, he did. And then also sometimes he caught him coming with some shots. And then when in the moments when he did get into exchanges, he threw the shorter, crisper punches.
But I thought Hedderick made it easy, though, by coming in with that head drop and stuff coming right at him. So all of a sudden, Freeman just had to go right down the pipe. It was there. He knew exactly where his opponent. As far as Hedderick, he's got to work on that technique. He can't be dropping that head, Paulie.
Yeah.
He can't drop that, and when he defends himself, he's got to go side to side and then throw some shots.
I've got to be honest, you know, it seemed like he only had his effort to really rely on tonight. He seemed outgunned and outskilled. He didn't have any inside boxing, dirty boxing to fall back on. It didn't seem like when he got inside he knew how to use the Tai Plum or use any MMA techniques. So it was just his boxing against Freeman's boxing, and Freeman's boxing was way, way more superior.
Here's how it ended, with some mutual respect. And as we all sit and take in the importance of Memorial Day weekend, we do thank Ray Skills, Randall Hedderick, for his 17 years in the Navy as a CB, 5 deployments, 12 years in the reserves. Thank you for representing our nation. Tonight, Puma put on a performance.
Yeah, and you saw that uppercut at the end. It didn't catch him clean, but it ripped up his face, and that was after all the clean shots he did land. That's all he needed.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bobby Wambacher calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 15 seconds of the 2nd round, declaring your winner by TKO, Isaac Puma Freeman.
Puma said fighting here in BYB is a new beginning and an opportunity to win a world title. He is off and running.
Freeman just apologizing in the corner. I don't think there's anything to apologize for.
Absolutely not.
Hedderick was turning his head the opposite way. This is fighting, dude. You can't referee your own fights, and also you can't give your opponent the opportunity to foul you by ducking your head down that low or turning your head onto the side when you're in the clenches. I'm sorry. You got to fight the fight, dude. That's why you're in there.
Well, he fought his fight tonight, and we did get one to go into the 2nd round. And this older guy with shoulder surgery sends it back to my favorite host on the desk other than Bob, Claudia Trejos.
Ouch, talk about pain.
1-1.
Hurt much? Anyway, well, I know who's hurt, because the truth of the matter is I got another nickname for Isaac Freeman. Surgical precision. He's a surgeon. That was precise. Down the pipe. That's what you said, huh?
Well, absolutely. When a fighter comes into another fighter's hometown, you know, a lot of fighters get intimidated by the crowd and the noise and the hype. Other fighters say, hey, the crowd can't get in the ring and help my opponent, so it doesn't matter. That's the kind of fight we saw from Isaac Freeman. He didn't care about the crowd. He didn't care about the hype. He went in and did his job. The problem I saw with Hedderick was that as the commentators were mentioning, he was putting his head down a lot, and he also was spending way too much time complaining about rabbit punches and things like that. You got to get out and fight. You can't spend your time worrying about, what the referee is doing. Do what you need to do. I just didn't like the technique. I didn't like the way he came out. It was just almost a picture-perfect performance by Freeman.
Yeah.